Painting's getting near to the end now, but there's just finishing off bits which are quite fiddly, lots of different areas where I could do more work. But so I'll go through some of those now. For instance, these stamens, we need to make them a little bit more refined by painting between them. In fact, effectively doing some more negative painting between them. So I've got a dark sort of lilac-y colour, and I can just, by going in between the stamens, using the photo for reference, and you can just refine, make them a bit thinner and make them stand out more just by going in with darks there. And this is quite fiddly to do, and obviously you'll have more time to do it, but I just wanted to show you the sort of thing I mean. And then just blend those areas out a little bit. Everything that will make these stand out and look more 3D is going to help in the finished painting. I can bring some of that tone into where there's shadow being cast among the stamens. The other thing that I can see needs doing is the buds need some dark on them because they're looking a bit flat. So using some green from the palette, I'll wet the whole bud, but then only put the tone around. I've sort of decided that the light's coming from top left, so let's just put some dark in there. You see, it makes them look more rounded if you do that. Wet the whole bud and then just put the tone at the bottom and allow it to sort of spread out, spread up, wet in wet. They look much better now that they've got some depth to them now, and shape, some form to them. That's better. Okay, and the other thing that needs to be done is to put some shadow underneath the flower, because it's to make it look as though it's standing out. If you put dark underneath here, it'll come out at you. And to do that, you need a sort of bluey green. You can use the colours you've got in your palette already, and just mixing that Windsor blue in with a bit of green, and you'll see the effect it has. You just go over everything with this colour. It's fairly watery, the colour. Go over everything. So in fact you're painting an area of shadow really. You're not painting any particular thing, you're just painting an area of shadow. And then blend it out. Perhaps go in a little bit darker right up against the petals, and you can see the effect it has of bringing out the petal, making it look as if it's coming out at you. And anywhere where you've got a leaf coming out, for instance down here, I did it a little bit before, I could do a bit more. It will be improved by going in with this idea of the shadow underneath. I think that's just about it. Let me just show this final bit where you could go in with a very dark tone, with Windsor blue and a bit of pink, a bit of the quinacridone magenta, as we did at the beginning, and a bit of quinacridone gold. Make a very, very dark tone. And you can go in and make it look as if there's more leaves in the background, at the same time bringing out the flower. For instance here, you see how that tone is just that bit a bit darker. If I go in there, I can make it look as though there's another leaf in the background. And it gives more depth. It's just random, there's some places where you can do this. How about here? Bring this, make that stalk stand out. And just by putting that shape in there, it looks now as though there's two leaves behind that stalk. That's wet, so I won't go in there. You'd have to go all over the painting and do with these shapes, the sort of triangles. Dark. And it will just make your painting have depth. And at the same time bring the flowers into focus a bit better. And you can see that just by doing these few finishing touches, it really brings the painting to life. So I'll continue doing that, and then we'll see the finished effect.